Day 2, exploring the Sulawesi forest alone. Cutting through the wilderness, entered a wild animal habitat. Crossing cave paths inhabited by hundreds of thousands of bats. A very crowded bat kingdom. Deep within the cave. Going through extreme lane challenges, and encountered a wide variety of deadly animals. Introduce a wide variety of biodiversity, which is still sustainable to this day. Build a makeshift shelter inside the cave, when conditions do not allow to continue. Travel, sharing experiences on how to find clean water in the forest. Hone hunting skills and test hand speed. Found a huge river in the cave and put an eel fishing rod in it. Increases the sharpness of the eyes from the threat of predators in the water. Survive and look for food, wild in the forest, and get to know plants that are suitable for safe consumption. Making a campfire, even if all the wood is wet. Processing results. Game and cook it in a simple way. Food processing skills. It is very necessary here. Eating dinner, accompanied by the sweet sound of nocturnal animals. Sleeping in the shelter with poisonous insects. This is solo travel. Uncle Cole penetrated the wilderness. Good luck witnessing. Today is the second day I explore the Kar Forest. Second widest. In the world, I will find the best location. In the middle of the woods, to build a house and live there. But it's not something that's easy. To be found, I had to overcome many obstacles, like a wilderness, cliffs, and face the beasts. Here I'm going to cross the cave path, which is pretty challenging. This is the only path I have to take. When viewed from the front, this cave appears to be just a hole. Small, but make no mistake. This cave door does look small. But inside it, there was a huge empire adorned with hundreds of stalactites and stalagmites that are so beautiful and exotic. Before it goes any deeper, I'll prepare the headlamp in advance. As illumination, because here I am all alone. So I'm carrying a tripod to help me document this journey. Now I will enter the dark hallway. Here, many stalactites hanging from the ceiling of the cave. I started to see a pretty big bat. Apparently they got together up there. It was him. They started noticing my arrival. I'm gonna try closer. Wow, there are so many. They split up the group. Then each group has their own hallway. This cave is inhabited by hundreds of thousands of bats, but here I won't bother them. Because we were friends and have the same mission, which is keeping the forest. Bats are the best nature-loving community all the time. They are able to propagate fruit seeds as far as dozens of ribum, then the seeds spread and grow into a useful tree for this earth. Bats are also great hunters. Because of its very magical ecological abilities, this mammal has the ability to emit ultrasonic waves, sound with a very high frequency that humans can't even hear. The wave will bounce all over the place. Then the ultrasonic waves that hit the object or insect will bounce back into the bat's ears, so they can figure out the location, their prey very easily. In one night, a bat can eat 6,000, 8,000 insects. Bats are heroes in the dark. They were able to save the farmers from using excessive pesticides due to pest attacks. So far, no other creature has been able to control. Pests are greater than bats. Now I will continue my journey. Up ahead, I see a point of light. It signifies the causeway door is right there. Here I'm quite surprised. Saw a python sleeping under the foot of the cave. I had to dodge and try to find the exit hole. Other, so that the snake does not feel disturbed. Here I am trying to get out through the little hole. Pretty narrow, but this is not a problem for small creatures like me. After I escaped this little hole, I was greeted by a troop of jungle ants. Its size is indeed small, but if it gets bitten, it feels like a bee sting. Here I found a type of mushroom, which has been quite rarely encountered. Its name is Clavulinopsis lighticolor, or commonly called coral mushrooms. Of course, this mushroom is not recommended for consumption. Here's a beautiful butterfly. He was named Euphyllia milkibor, or commonly called the crow butterfly. She is beautiful but poisonous. Here I continue my journey. From a distance, I hear the sound of water flowing. And it turns out, down there is a river, because it's getting late. So I decided to find a place to build a shelter. Here I found a cave. Small, which is pretty dry, after I noticed. Seemed safe enough to build a shelter on the side. Now is the time to pull out the flagship weapon. I'll find some wood for the shelter frame. I just need 2 bars. Here I'm gonna look for twigs that are dead or fallen. Like this, so not having to cut down living trees. Here I am. See a cave, which is pretty big. I'm going there to take a closer look. Apparently, there was a big river inside this cave. Usually refer models like this a lot of sidatnya. Luckily, I always carry fishing tools. Went to the forest. Later in the afternoon, I'll be here to set an eel fishing rod. Now I'm going home first to complete the creation of the shelter. Here I'm going to make an emergency shelter, because I'm going to use this shelter just one night. After that, I will continue my journey. For the roof, I use fly, seat that I used in the first shelter, in previous episodes. To tie the filter on, here I use rope from nature. This vine named lay, Gadium circinidum. Local residents used to call it a body plant, or nailhata. Besides being able to be a rope, parts of this plant can also be consumed. How to process it must be boiled first, then washed clean, then cook it back. It tastes like fern or vegetable nails, just a little bitter. Here I'm going to make a stake out of a twig. How to make it really easy. Simply collect twigs that branch. Like this, then cut it to form the number 7. Like this. After all the ingredients are ready, time to install the roof shelter. The top of his flash disc, I fastened it well. Then peg each corner of his flashing using pegs so the roof doesn't sag. Well now, filter is all ready, so then I secured my stuff into the shelter. Because here, I didn't bring a tumbler, so I'll find some bamboo for the water reservoir. This is the bamboo tree. Bamboo in this forest is quite easy to find. The type also varies. I'll get the bamboo that has fallen. I only need one segment. Because I did not find a clear water source. So I decided to look for caves that have stalactic in them. Here I found it. Like this stalactic will release clean water without stopping. I'll hold the water using bamboo like this. Then let it get to the full. Continue, I'm looking for firewood. Firewood is very important. Prepared before evening. Because if it's dark, very hard to find. Once the firewood had been gathered, I took him to Salter to cut into pieces. Let it be easy when cooking later. Once the wood is done, I'll do it. Here I'm going to make a fireplace. This is an important thing to prepare before the night falls. If you work in the forest, this afternoon I'm going to put an eel fishing rod in the cave earlier. First I have to find the handle, because Sillet is very strong, so the handle should be strong and not easily broken. Like this. After the rod handle, I managed to collect. Now I'll check the fishing gear in the bag. This is a special bag for storing fishing tools. This is the eye of the rod. Seems strong enough for eelfish. Now I'm going to find the bait. One of the most likely options I've found for bait is a frog, because it's the rainy season, so there's a lot of frogs everywhere. Like this. And this. How to catch it must be fast, because that frog is very agile, so hand speed is key. Once the bait is enough, I'm going to go in the cave. to put all his fishing rod. The distance from the shelter to the river is quite close, about 200 meters, which makes it torturous enough, because the karst rocks here are very slippery and sharp. Like the neighbor's mouth, huh? Here I have to be more careful in my steps, because this kind of place is very prone. There's usually predators that are again hanging out. This is the first fishing rod. This is the second fishing rod. This is the third fishing rod. Then the fourth fishing rod I put on the outside. While the fifth and sixth fishing rods I set next to, I have to cross. This is the seventh fishing rod. Every Gagan fishing rod, I tie it like this. Let it be stronger. Like this. The total fishing rod I installed is 7. If you don't get 7 eels, I have been very grateful for 7 angels, as long as not 7 crocodiles. All the fishing rods are well installed. I'll be back in the morning. Now I'm going home to the shelter. Here I'm going to make a clothesline next to the shelter. I can hang my clothes here tonight. It's already afternoon, and here I have no food in stock. So I decided to look for groceries. For dinner prep, here I found these mushrooms named Microsoft Centaurus. Texture is hard and rough. This mushroom cannot be consumed. Continue looking for mushrooms. Here I'm quite surprised. While I was busy carving the bush, suddenly I saw a snake. But don't worry. Cute animal, this one is not venomous. He was named Dengenbius vectus, or commonly called a mine snake, because of the rope-like color. I went looking for something to eat. Here I found a mushroom. This is a type of cornstarch SP1. Not fit for consumption. Here I come back to find mushrooms. Well, the mushroom is pretty special this time. This mushroom called aquatic lenses, or commonly called oyster mushrooms. This mushroom is quite popular in Indonesia, especially among people who live in rural. Now I'm gonna pick it. These mushrooms can be consumed very safely. It feels good, and have their own unique flavor. How to process it is also very easy. Here I got pretty much. I continued to look for additional materials. Here I found a very fertile plant. This plant is called Zingiber zaramped, or commonly called Puyeng glue. This plant is very rich in benefits. For health, shoots of this plant can be consumed as a vegetable. Tastes good and has its own distinctive fragrance. I'm gonna harvest it. Even though this plant I cut down, this will not make him die. But it will only increase and be a lot because these plants have bulbs on the bottom. If the trunk is cut down, the yam will release new branches and will grow, then emerge to the ground level as new buds. It's getting dark. I'm going home to the shelter soon to process this ingredient into a delicious meal. The bats came out of his kingdom to go find food. Here I'm going to turn on the shelter light. Well, like this. It looks more attractive now. This is the food I hunted today. I'll quickly process them into delicacies. But before that, I'm going to go get the water reservoir I put in the cave earlier. I brought a headlamp because the path was getting dark. Distance of water source from shelter is not far away, only about 100. This is the water reservoir. Apparently, the water was fully filled. I'll get her home to the shelter soon. The water is so clear. I'll try the water to quench my thirst. It tastes so fresh. Now I'm going to light a fire because the firewood was a little wet. So I split it first until it gets thin so that the wood can burn. Like this. Now I'm going to try to light a fire. Well, it worked. Very easy, isn't it? Continue, I will process the groceries. Here the mushroom roots I cut into pieces. Then tear it into pieces to make it easier to chew. Like this. Once the fungus is done, continue I work on the quail vegetables. How to do it is very easy. Simply split the stem like this. Then take the inside out. The inside can also be eaten directly. It tastes sweet, and no strange taste at all. After all the stems are done, I cut the inside, I cut it off. Like this. Once everything is ready, now I'm going to wash it clean. Continued, I sliced the purple onion. Here, garlic is not invited. Then I heat the oil first. I used just a little, because the rest of this oil stock I have for the next few days. After hot oil, I fried the onions until it's brownish. Now the vegetable ingredients I sautéed. Then I added some water. Now I'm going to add some salt. After that, I let the vegetables boil until the water shrinks a little. Here I'm not cooking rice, because of the rice stock that I have little left, only enough to cook 3 times. So I had to save for a few days to ahead, because this is in the woods. Here money is of no value at all. No supermarket in the woods, especially the cellar of rice field. While waiting for the vegetables to boil, I'm gonna make a seat, while here, now the vegetables are cooked. And finally, the dinner menu was ready to eat. Before eating, of course, I didn't forget to read the prayer first. According to my belief, it feels good. Maybe because I'm too hungry. So any food would be good. Savory blend of mushrooms, fused with the fragrance of the puyang. Make it taste. Very unique, savory and fragrant. Continue, I eat first. Here I'm done with dinner. I'll dry my clothes first before going to bed. Turns inside the filter. Here are a lot of spiders. Some are venomous and some are not. I'm not going to kick them out. Because here I am, the guest. So you have to know yourself. I'm going to rest. Here I sleep using sleeping bag. I'm going to sleep. Good night. See you tomorrow. The morning has arrived. Today is the 3rd day. I'm in the woods alone. It's time for me to wake up and get ready to see the results of the fishing rod I set yesterday. Looks wet leaves. Looks like there was rain last night. Now I'll wear clothes first, because in this forest there are a lot of mischievous insects. Oh yes, introduce. These are my signature shoes. She named Cobra. He is already 8 years old, and still stay faithful with me. Now everything is ready. It's time for me to go to the river to see the results. The eel I put up yesterday afternoon. Here, I want to say thank you for each finger who are willing to press the subscribe button on this channel. Thank you so much for your support. May luck always be on your side. For the next video, we will meet again in the episode that will air next. See you in episode 3. Aku Paman Bara, pamit undur diri. From Sulawesi Island, greetings.